Hello there, and our next Umbra Coffee. It's our 23rd episode already, and today we are joined by Christian from Byte 5 in Germany. Hi, Christian. How are you?
Hi, fine, thanks. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining us. And I presume that it was a really busy or full of resting week for you after the great festival last week, or you were working all week?
I almost slept the whole weekend, but now a full week of work to be done. So
Yeah,
not
great.
much resting.
That's also good. We are also trying not to rest too much right now. We are preparing for the amazing things ahead. But let's start from scanning through what happened during the past week, because it was really packed week with Umbraco goodness and love. First, let's start from the Swift issue. We had a new issue released with two great articles. I can share my screen. Callum, did you had a chance to read them, to see them?
I did. The one that really caught my eye was Paul Sterling's article on Umbraco cloud deployments, because this is something it's version 2 of a blog he wrote for Swift a few months back, and I really enjoyed his first one. There was a load of stuff in there that we've actually been able to use ourselves, so that's good, and it's nice seeing how their workflows change slightly by experimenting with different tools.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we are also trying to switch to use or explore more Visual Studio Team services, and here is a way how to combine it with Visual Studio Team services, and that's really interesting article. And the second one is by Jeanne. It's about enriching your editors by converting properties on doc type change. Also interesting topic. So feel free to explore both of those articles. We will of course share the links underneath our video. What's the next topic? It's
I was going to say about HQ. So HQ this week, Niels has been tweeting a lot about how they're growing, and when I kind of went over Twitter and looked at the tweets that have happened this week, there's been a load of them. So the Umbraco account tweeted out at the start of the week about their new OMG, Macon, their office management guru. Love that title, OMG. Has joined, and I think she's been there a couple of weeks now. But and they've also, Niels, I think yesterday posted a picture of the new desks they're putting up in HQ. So there's 6 new desks that they've had to add. So that's just a visual indicator of how quickly they're growing.
Yeah, and then they're still looking for new hires, right?
Exactly. So an Azure infrastructure engineer and also a front-end dev. I guess Mads is their only front-end dev at the moment. So it looks like they're really doubling down on the back office and improving that.
Oh, and they are also looking for Umbraco coach and trainer.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting roles. So if anyone wants to change something or join the really amazing and fastly growing team of people, really friendly people doing amazing things together, there is a list of possibilities for all of you. Yeah, it's growing so fast. We probably won't be able to follow everything on each umbraCoffee.
I know. We discussed the idea of getting all the new umbraCoffee hires. All the new Umbraco hires onto umbraCoffee, and I think we'd end up with just every single week it would be a new Umbraco HQ hire.
Yeah, but that's great. So let's jump to the releases, because it was also a week full of some package releases. We've had a new package released, which is a test content, and it's really interesting because I was working on exactly the same type of package at some time ago. Of course, I didn't finish it. Someone, Martin, here finished his version of the package, and it does its job. So it enables us or developers or someone else to create a randomly generated content underneath specific node. For example, to test, I don't know, even paging on the site. If you want to just test how your listing page will behave with, I don't know, 20 or 30 elements, and you don't want to create them all by hand, you can specify how many of them you want to generate, and it will generate them, number of items to create here. It's a really interesting package. I want to play with it at some point. The second one was by Jonathan Richards, right?
Yeah, this is a package I've been using quite a lot. He's updating this pretty regularly, so well supported. TerraType, it's a maps package, and in the back office it gives you a map that you can pick and drop pins on, and then also kind of providers. So you can have a Google Maps provider, or a Bing Maps provider, or any level of maps. In fact, on the Umbristol Slack channel this week, there was a really good discussion about maps generally, because people may have seen Google Maps have released some changes to their pricing structure, and it's going to become a little bit more expensive to run Google Maps. And Jonathan was promoting some of the alternatives. Maybe I'll put some links to some of the things he mentioned, exploring, and of course, lots of them already work with Terratype, so makes it really easy to just swap out to a different map provider if you want. Click of a button, basically.
And the last package release is Notely in version 2 by Michael, who was joining us for umbraCoffee a couple of weeks back. So yeah, it's finally released. It's up to it's possible to download it, to test it, and source code is also available on GitHub. So also feel free to explore more about it.
Yep.
And I think that now we can jump to some breaking news. Callum, you want to do breaking news?
Yeah, there's some breaking news. So people probably saw a while back, I tweeted a picture of us on a call with Ilham from HQ. And we've been working on a couple of things for a little while, partnering with HQ. And today we can finally reveal one of those things. So as of right now, if you go to the umbraco.com blog, our YouTube channel, or the Codegarden site, you will see that this mystery, something exciting to be announced on the schedule, has been replaced by
umbraCoffee at Codegarden.
So umbraCoffee is going to be integrated into the schedule a little bit at Codegarden this year, at 6 o'clock on the Wednesday and 4:45 on the Thursday, and our usual time of 11:30 on the Friday,
which is 12:30 Danish time.
12:30 Danish time. You can come along, join us for coffee. We're going to have Niels and members of HQ there. We're going to summarize the day. We're going to have swag to give away. So yeah, just come along, take part in umbraCoffee. We want to make kind of some of the biggest umbraCoffees we can over these 3 days that we're going to be there. There's a little video on the blog posted just explaining a little bit about
it's umbraCoffee Inception right now.
Yeah, a little bit about what's happening.
Yep, feel free to check it, and of course join us during the Codegarden. We'll have a really nice place and really nice atmosphere there for sure, full of Umbraco people willing to share their knowledge and just chat about everything what's happening there, or happened during the past, or will happen in the future days of Codegarden.
Exactly, and as I've said, we're doing our usual on the Friday. So if you're really hungover and you need a coffee after the bingo, well, come along. We're going to have some things to help you out, and just join in with a little bit of light-hearted conversation.
And of course,
tucked away somewhere in the venue, we don't quite know where yet.
Yeah, and as an addition, it will be also live streamed, right? So
yeah, if you're not at Codegarden, join in from home.
Exactly. Okay, that was our breaking news section. But yeah, around Codegarden, there were also some other announcements and another interesting ideas. Owen, who was our guest also a couple of weeks back, started a really interesting idea and really interesting movement of gathering people's pull requests to open source repository for Codegarden attendees. And his idea is to print a T-shirt with all of those names, and I don't know, enable everyone to mark the possibility of meet each other during the Codegarden. Very interesting idea. Of course, we've submitted our pull request. I did my first pull request from my mobile, so that was also just, and the list is growing really, really fast. So if you are going, if you are going to Codegarden and if you want to meet Owen and put a check mark on his T-shirt, of course, add yourself here and create maybe your even first pull request with this opportunity. It's pretty easy, and you should definitely start with it.
Absolutely, and the deadline for that is Monday. So he's getting it printed on Monday. Do it by Monday. You've got the weekend to go up there, do a pull request. We'll put a link in the description, so it's super, super easy to get your name on the list and then on a T-shirt as well.
Yeah. And the last news from Codegarden, around Codegarden, running Strava Club is opened, and all the days when the CG Runners Club will be running are created as an event on Strava application. So if you are a fan of running and you want to join the amazing bunch of people who are sometimes hangover as hell, but they're running. I've joined the club a couple times, and I'm also taking my running shoes with me this year as well. Join the club on Strava, download the Strava application, and just click a link underneath the video and join us. Yep, that's all about Codegarden, and probably all the news happened this week. But let's jump back 1 week back and focus about the great experience which I had and all of the rest people had also during the Umbraco Festival Deutschland. And we have a Christian here with us today, so we'll definitely leave you a space here to say more about the event. And yeah, what are your thoughts after the event? Is anything else what can be improved in the next years, or are you happy, or what happened after the festival?
Oh, we had our debriefing meeting yesterday. So we talked about every aspect of the festival, what went well, where's room for improvements. And yeah, it might be shocking to you, but there is room for improvements.
We lost Christian?
Looks like we've lost Christian.
Okay, let's wait a bit. I can just add, meanwhile, waiting for Christian, that it was really well organized event. I'm right now as a partially organizer of the Polish festival and UK festival attendee. I'm trying to see what's going on during each event and how we can also improve our events based on what happened during on the other events. And yeah, it was full of people, full of attractions, full of great talks, of course. And yeah, the room was split into two at the beginning. And one stream was in German language and second one was in English. And then the room split it even more into 3 small rooms where 3 talks were happening at the same time. So the agenda were really packed, and I know that, of course, you might have seen Carol joining Callum last week straight from the venue. It was really, really great event. I had a great time, and also the Frankfurt is a really nice city. Oh, and we have Christian back.
Hey, I'm back. Yeah.
Feel free to continue.
Just that umbraCoffee last week was split in 2 parts, so I thought it would be a good idea to do this week again. Did you got anything of what I said?
No.
Okay, so you asked me, is there anything to improve? And yes, the shocking answer is yes, there is something to improve. And we had our debriefing yesterday and discussed all the things we want to improve next year. So only small things, but one idea is to move the toilets up to the rooftop. Yeah, because the 4th level was not enough. So yeah, we have a lot of ideas for next year, and but some of these ideas we need even more participants to make them happen. So yeah, we're counting on every one of you guys out there.
I was saying before we went live, I was really impressed at how well the festival came across. Unfortunately, couldn't attend myself. Maybe next year. Especially the pre-party, like that looked amazing.
I'm sharing photos meanwhile.
Yeah, looking through the photos that Doug's taken, like it just looked so fun and really well put together. So
yeah.
Yeah, no fun at all. We just did it for the photos. So
yeah,
no, it was really nice. Yeah.
I've said when you were offline that it was really packed of great talks. A lot of the talks in the multiple streams, a lot of fun as well. Great after party, great pre-party, which I also didn't attend, unfortunately. But yeah, a lot of amazing things, a lot of amazing people from different parts of the world, and yeah, a lot of interesting thoughts at the end.
Yeah, and I think Carol, who we had on last week, has done a really nice blog post summarizing
Yes.
Umbraco Festival Deutschland experience. So go check that out. We'll put a link.
Yeah, and Byte5 also summarized the festival, right? In English today. The version in English was released today, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah, I hope so.
And of course
we'll
and of course we'll add a link for this as well in the video description. And Callum, you also spotted great doodles by Matt Beresford.
Yeah, these are fantastic.
Yeah,
these are really good.
We need to include this, and huge kudos for Matt for everything what he did for his talk. And not only, I was really literally impressed because I'm preparing a lot of talks. I'm also always spending a lot of time finding the perfect slides. If I will have skills to draw them, I will do them. I will do that. Yeah. And Matt did it great.
Not only did the content look really like good and high quality, he'd gone and done a drawing for almost every single slide. I think we can post a link to the slides, in fact, like illustrations and stuff. And then he did a summary, an illustration summary of the whole event, which is next level awesome. So
yeah, big high five.
Big high five
for Matt. Yeah, great work. And yeah, okay, so maybe we can just jump to the list of final things to mention, because as we've said, there's a lot of things happening, and we are also planning the rest of the weeks before the Codegarden, of course, and we have only 3 weeks left.
3 weeks is actually less than 3 weeks. In 2.5 weeks, it will be the pre-party, which is crazy. It's come around so quickly.
So I will share my screen and let's just jump through some things. We had a new rumor released, right?
This morning.
We don't know what's going on. There is a musketeer there, and yeah, it's loading. So we'll see what's going on probably at the event. But yeah, Umbraco is having something for us. We'll see what's that. And also, we noticed that Jeffrey from Perplex who released a lot of interesting packages for Umbraco, hits the 10,000 downloads for all of them. In summary, that's a really high number, right?
Yeah, it's a good achievement, big achievement.
Yep, and we of course will link it in the description. Our guest Owen is working, hopefully polishing and finishing the pull request for color picker for Umbraco.
I'm excited about this. That he teased with a picture the other day, and I've heard him talking about it, but that's the first time I've seen it, and that looks really, really cool. So I can't wait for that to be finally submitted and hopefully brought into the core. Looks like a great addition.
Yep, and also Jeffrey Shoemaker is looking for some insights and help related with his talk for Codegarden. So if you are having any Umbraco website which can be just looked through and explored to expose some security issues, feel free to answer Jeffrey and help him with his talk. It was on Twitter. It was released on Twitter. And also we noticed a great discussion on Umbraco forum about usage of the grid for complex data. And yeah, I've scanned through all the responses, and it's very interesting how people are using grid and how it evolved from the simple editor for just small grid editors to the really complex data type with a lot of possibilities.
In fact, speaking of the grid, there was something this morning which really caught my eye. So I think it's Soren Kottel has made a really nice package that adds a way you can manage your doc type grid editors through the back office. This was something I've been planning to build, and he's beaten me to it. So this looks really awesome. I'll post a link to it. Basically allows you to have a tree of all your different grid editors in the back office, and you can manage them there, and also separates them out into individual packages so that they're not all just in that one big grid editor settings file. Yeah, as I say, I'll post a link. It's really interesting, nice addition.
Yeah, and the last thing about trees and Umbraco usages, Niels asked for also for help. Probably there are some works planned to change or adjust maybe behavior of the dog types in the back office. And the question is, do we use inheritance or compositions for dog types? So feel free to share your preferred way of handling dog types with Niels, and we're all looking forward to what will be improved here. Sorry, I don't know why the poll is not loading for me, but there is a poll. You can answer the poll here.
Yeah, it sparked a really, really good discussion, conversation about why people use composition over inheritance. I can probably see this being an open space session at Codegarden. In fact, there's a lot of discussion to be had around that.
Yeah, and that's it probably. As a final call for action, I can also say that we are still selling early bird tickets for Polish Festival. I've been doing an evangelist mission in Germany, inviting people to the neighboring country to attend the festival in Krakow. But also we've decided to extend call for proposal period to the end of the May to also have more inputs of the great talks to pick from, because we will have one stream of talks, and we want to make sure that it will be satisfying for everyone who wants to attend. So if you were thinking about submitting your talk, you still have time. Reach me or anyone from our Cogworks team for help or anything else like that, and just buy tickets and attend. Great.
It doesn't have to be a fully fledged talk yet, just an idea, and we can work on it. And
yeah, the final thought is that attend festivals. They are really, really great way of spending time and to learn. It will enable you to learn a lot of things. It will enable you to find great people and great opportunities for your business, and not only. And yeah, once again, huge five, Christian and all of the Byte team for the great event. And we are seeing each other at Codegarden and maybe on the next umbraCoffee.
Yep.
Yeah. And Odense. Can't wait.
Absolutely.
Yep. So thank you, Christian.
The final thing for me was just to say, referencing the title of this episode, May the 4th be with everybody. It has no relevance to the title of this episode or the contents of this episode, but we decided it would be a missed opportunity not to call it that.
Yep, exactly. So May the 4th be with you, and have a great rest of the day and the weekend. Yep. Cheers.
See ya.
Bye-bye.